0. We are live now. Actually, we've been live since I hit like 2 because I don't know. I
You
felt like
lie.
hitting the button early
You're
because
like a
that's the way I roll.
pathological liar, and you lie all the fucking time. You have like a real problem.
Good evening, viewers. Welcome to my stream.
Hello.
We're here with Katie Fox to, talk.
Yeah,
Mostly insult her, but
I have a headache, so I'm like gonna be kind of passive aggressive tonight. I'm sorry. I don't apologize to Tundra. I'm just saying, don't fuck with me too hard, my boy, my dude.
All right, let's. Yeah, I fucked up. Oh well. It's just one more thing.
I'm giving you this bit for us,
Did
not
you,
because you deserve it,
did you
for the
just
work that.
donate 100 bits to a stream that we're splitting bits on?
Yes.
Holy shit! Hi Moxie. Welcome to the stream, my
Hi guys.
dudes.
How's it going? Yeah, 50 cents for you, 50 cents for me. It comes right back to me anyway.
God
That's how
damn.
math works, right? That's how math works, right?
Yeah, that's how math works.
Someone has to feed us.
Somebody has to feed us. Yeah, that's true. I will definitely give you that. Somebody does need to feed us.
Oh, look at all the little fox emotes. I love it.
I'm not too bad. I'm alive
Guys, I
today.
think I found a new bit badge. Like, I posted in my Discord. Like, it's pretty legit, guys. It's also part of this today's reading.
It's part of today's reading. Oh yeah,
Yes,
yeah. Because it's the thing from
my hero.
yeah.
The Deku
I
face.
don't know. I like the one that I like the one I had for the one I sent you. That should be a bit badge.
For yourself, maybe.
What are you talking about? It's perfect.
For you.
In general.
Oh
Wait,
my
did I
god.
accidentally save that to Komi? Am I
You
that
did.
much of a fucking scrub? I might
You
have.
are.
I did. I did save it to
I
Komi.
know.
It's Nisekoi.
I know, right?
I'm a fucking scrub. I'm still better than Katie, but that's setting the bar so very low.
You're just jealous because I have more Instagram followers than you and Twitch followers. Just get on my
At
level.
least
God.
one of those things might be true. I don't
Both
know.
of those things are true.
Are you sure?
Check and check your social media for once.
I don't check social media. What are you talking
This
about?
explains
What
so
is
much.
social media? What is this thing of
No.
which you speak?
It's a
I'm
thing where
I'm
the new
so
world goes
confused.
to like socialize and
That's a
post
weird thing.
conceding like photos of themselves and yeah,
That is a weird thing. Hmm.
yeah,
That is a really weird thing.
I know.
God, I hate Twitch so much sometimes.
Also, you need to change your category, my dude.
What do you mean? I already changed it. It just doesn't update until you refresh the stream.
Oh, I'm just saying this should have been dealt with beginning. This is
Yeah,
getting kind of
that's
sloppy.
one of the things I said when I was saying "oops, I fucked up" was because I didn't change it to the category before I pressed the start streaming button, which irritates the crap out of me, but it won't matter in the long run.
All right, I want attendance. I need everyone put in the chat they're here.
Roll call, motherfuckers.
All right, M's here.
I see the
Moxie's here.
Moxie. I see the M. Obviously,
I'm obviously here.
you're obviously
You're so
here,
sad.
and
Well, we're
I'm
gonna
obviously
change
here.
that M. We're gonna change that sadness. You're either gonna get even more sad or you're gonna get happier. It's one of the two.
Yeah, probably something like that. Be happy.
What's that one you guys taught me earlier? Oh no, not this thing. I'm doing okay. I'm adjusting to a lot of things this week and trying to get more committed to my community and trying to outreach and stuff. It's been a touch and go process, but I'm doing okay.
Yeah, the thing you have to understand is Katie doesn't like talking to people or interacting with people or even really being a person most of the time.
I like
So,
interacting with people. I just don't want to interact with people that are kind of snobby. I had the touch and go week this week.
so
Right?
that's what happens when you work.
That's Tundra's new bit badge.
No, it's
Mine's
not.
much better.
It's not my bit badge. What is this? Is that the Santa hat? I thought I took that off entirely. Oh, that's a cursor.
Hi, Dolphin. Thank you for coming.
Hey, welcome to the stream, my dude.
All right, old man McGee.
Old man McGee. What manga are we starting with this week?
Let's go with Blue Spring Ride. Let's just knock the worst to the best this week. Let's just switch it up.
Okay, if we're starting with worst to best, why are we starting with Blue Spring when we should be starting with Cho-Cho?
Cho-Cho gouge my eyes out. Okay.
All right. Yeah, we gotta start with Cho-Cho, even though I've got shit from Nisekoi up here. Hold on. Fuck.
It's don't get me wrong. The art style is pretty.
It's so super fucking cute. Case in point.
That's it. That's only like I'm a huge fan of burning things on the first go. But oh my god, I didn't read the second page. It was already like so bad for me. And then no, I lied. I read a couple of pages. I don't think I made it for the first chapter. I think that was the problem. Like I didn't even read the first chapter of it because I was like, yeah, this isn't obviously getting better. The grammar structure, the story is getting worse and worse. I don't know what's going on. It's like the artist wasn't paying attention to their own story type thing.
I know one of the issues that we're running into, for starters, is this is a Chinese manga that was translated to Japanese, and then the people who translated this translated it from the Japanese version. So we're getting Google languages Google translated here, and it's not great. That's part of the issue. The other issue is this is just a shitty version of Komi-san. That's literally it. The whole fucking story, it's literally fucking Komi-san, except it's not good. It has nothing else going for it other than the love story. Imagine taking Komi-san and removing every bit of humor and entertaining except for the love story. The love story that's totally non-existent because of the complete lack of ability of the main character to talk to people. Why am I outputting so fucking low?
I don't know.
There we go.
But no,
it fixed.
Like, literally, it's still very forced, this relationship. It's very much like, oh, you exist and this dude exists. Why don't you just exist together? And that's what the basis was from the first part. And it's still the basis for this second part. Like, I don't know if I didn't honestly read beyond chapter 1, but I'm assuming they don't really touch in base with what they actually have in common and why these two people should actually be together.
Are you saying chapter 1 of this volume or chapter 1 of the whole fucking manga?
The whole fucking manga.
Oh, then why did we waste our time talking about it ever? I mean, admittedly, literally nothing has changed from chapter 1, volume 1. It's literally been the exact same the whole bloody
same
time.
Concept.
We're what, like 12-ish chapters in now, and it's the same shit, different day. It's cute, super cute girl is nervous, doesn't fucking talk.
Yep.
That's the whole fucking story. Frankly, I'm all for dropping it because short of something really, really, really interesting happening, there's nothing going on here. It's just a cute girl and a cute boy, and I guess they want to bang, but they aren't doing it anytime soon.
Exactly, and it's very forced. That's why I'm not behind on. Like, I like if you're gonna make a relationship manga, make it feel natural. Don't make it where the friends are literally controlling the interaction between the two, where the couple's just like,
oh god,
sitting there being awkward and quiet. Like, there's being shy, which is one thing, but when the friends are literally putting the control and flow of the conversation, obviously you and that guy aren't jamming. Obviously, like.
Well, the thing is they both do like each other. That becomes very clear if you actually read it. But
yes, but under what pretense? Like, what do they have in common? Because clearly, like, they didn't know each other. People just kept pushing them at each other. I mean, maybe they're attracted to each other. That's one thing. But like, actually liking each other when they don't talk or have anything in common, like, it's just my problem. Like, it's just, I don't know.
The issue you're looking for, you're not going to find a solution for. But hold on. What is this thing's problem?
Because like I found lots of different stories that have a natural relationship, like Kami-sama or like even Blue Spring Ride. Granted, the content is slow, but they don't have their friends literally pushing them to engage
Sorry about that, Finn.
with each other.
You're all right. You're all right. Calm down. You can lay in your bed. You're fine.
Tantra's dog's wigging out. The poor baby.
Yeah, because my chair just fell over.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, this thing's just a piece of shit. Come here, you poor baby. Come here. You're all right. All right, go lay in your bed. You're
like
fine.
there are
You're
plenty
safe.
of other romantic like manga stories where have like a natural flow. It's just
Yeah.
I understand this was the Chinese have a different outlook on relationships and stuff. So it can be just a cultural thing. But I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna
I'm not willing to bank it all on that. Honestly,
yeah.
this is a typical manga romance. The problem is that every other typical manga romance that is super fucking boring by itself has some form of shtick that makes the manga interesting for another reason. Like in Really I Am, all the girls are aliens or monster girls. In um hmm in Fruits Basket, the boys turn into the whole Soma family turns into an animal version of themselves
Yeah,
when
but
they like
even
without that portion, it's a shitty romance.
even then though like Toru makes a foundation of trust is consistently there for them, like builds actually something before a relationship. Like there's something actually
See,
like
this is
formed there.
where you don't know what the fuck is going on, so you shouldn't be talking because you're literally assuming based on nothing. Because I'm 2 freaking volumes into this shit, and they still don't actually have a relationship. Like they're not dating, they're not. It's which is part of an argument toward in your favor, but right now you're talking like they're in a relationship and have nothing in common. No, they don't have a relationship and have nothing in common. They are just two people who very clearly have the hots for one another and aren't gonna frick because it's a manga. Hello?
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening to you.
Okay.
Like, like, what did you want me to do? Interrupt you?
No, like I was just, it went completely silent and I was
Oh, sometimes you take breaks, so I was like legitimately waiting for you to continue.
no, usually there's even background noise and I was even looking at my I'm looking at my OBS because I have nothing better to stare at while we talk, and there was nothing even picking up on my desktop audio monitor at all. So like I thought you were like unless you're on push to talk. In that case, that would make sense, but I don't think you usually push to talk.
I'm not. I'm like trying to keep my breathing super quiet so it doesn't pick up.
Yeah, I didn't pick up your breathing. I didn't pick up the crickets outside. No frogs.
I don't have frogs.
No
It's too cold.
birds.
It's too cold. It's winter.
I know.
I get it. I get you're trying to reference the awkward silence. I just realized that. Anyway, so chalking this all up to we're gonna ditch this story.
This manga's garbage. I can't do it.
I guess you can do it now if you want to, Moxie, but wait until we're done with the manga, I guess.
My dude, please go lay in your bed. You're freaking me the fuck out.
Is he nervous?
Yeah, because my chair fell over and it almost landed on him and it freaked him the fuck out. Now he's worried that if he goes back to his bed, it's going to land on him again. So he's standing in the only corner of the room that the chair didn't fall in.
Can you put his bed in the corner of the room?
Do you want me to move your bed over here? Come on, buddy. Come on. Oh, you're afraid of the chair. That's what's going on, and you don't want to go past it.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
There you go. You're okay. You're okay. There. You're such a chicken shit. You know,
hey.
being a dog that weighs literally... Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
You need to clean your desk, my dude.
I just did. Oh, that's not ideal.
I can hear those cans.
I'll be right
like,
back.
I can hear the cans.
I will be right
okay.
back.
Okay. It's actually my choice. I want to save it on the rainy day. But while we're waiting, let's share some juicy things with each other, I guess. Like secrets. I don't know. We want a dish. We got a lot of things to do while Tundra isn't here. Quick, let's just go full ham.
I finally get him to calm the fuck down, and then this happens.
What?
And he panics all over again. He's such a chicken shit. Like, he weighs 80 plus pounds more than my kid, who's 8, and yet he's terrified of the dark.
Yeah.
And
he's very abused dog. Like, yeah.
is scared of any kind of noise. You should have seen him cower when the fireworks started on New Year's Eve. I had to bring him into my bedroom and let him lay at the foot of the bed.
You need to get him like
he was
a
that
freaking
scared of the fireworks going off. And here's the thing. I couldn't even hear them. That's how far away they were. So it was just the bits he could hear that I couldn't, that he was terrified of.
Get him a thunder jacket. Get him, or like a weighted vest. It should help him.
Yeah, maybe. He's just so panicky.
He just needs something like to feel secure.
Yeah,
and,
he's afraid of everything.
Like thunder jacket and like get him like a calming scent in the house will generally help in a lot of training and stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
It helps with anxiety training he would need. Essentially, like if he starts whining, you don't respond because like if you do respond, like it gives him like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah. I know how to train a dog. I do. So.
Okay.
You put this in a memo and title it "Shit I Already Know."
What do you think, guys? Do you think you can actually train the dog?
Anyway,
I'm on the whole yes.
We are going to be dropping this fucking manga and replacing it with something. I just don't know what yet. Because I've stuck this out for 2 volumes. Katie doesn't even want to read it, and she's the one who picked it.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, cute art. Oh, cute. Sounds like a good, cute story.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, why not? It's something different. And no.
Yeah, so Hibi Checha was fun while it lasted.
Can we do Full Metal Alchemist? It's a romance.
How about this? We can do Full Metal Alchemist when Assassination Classroom is done in a year.
Oh,
God. He says, knowing full well he honestly wants to drop Assassination Classroom.
You want to drop it?
I'm not having fun with it, to be honest.
We can drop that too if you want.
Maybe we'll talk about it after the rest of the show, and I'll explain why in the segment for it.
Like, all right.
What manga do you want to talk about next?
I want to talk about mother flippin' real life.
Real life?
Mother flippin' things happen in this mother flippin' manga.
Okay. Right off the bat,
I need you to post the pics. I like the passive aggressiveness between the 2 handlers.
Here's my favorite pic.
So the one I provided.
No, this is the only one I saved.
That I gave you?
No. I mean, of the only one I created, the only one I clipped.
She did say I was a little slow.
I don't know.
Girl, same.
So this girl. Let's start from the beginning, because this is literally one of the last things that happened in this episode. Okay, I gotta not be Katie. Okay,
yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, I was just saying, it's Katie's job to be Katie. I can't be Katie.
I know, I was like creeped out. I was like, what the
God,
fuck? Get your own shit.
I'd have to be way too much of a scrub. I can't do that. Okay.
I like the scrubbacy. That's why I like wanted to frame this. Because they're literally like, they fucked up real bad with him. And they're just like, we're sorry.
All right. So, of course, at the end of last volume, we found out that... Hold on. I need to make my cursor a thing again.
Last time on Real Life.
Son of a bitch. Yes. We found out that On here is actually a real life employee and not a transfer student to the school. and was trying to seduce him. We come to
Yes.
find out that the reason for that is that they've had a couple of real life subjects do bad things because they realize, because the thing that they were very clear about is that even though he's in the body of a 17-year-old, his body is still that of a 28-year-old. But here's the thing. A 28-year-old man can overpower a 17-year-old girl with very little effort at all whatsoever. And so basically their whole thing is that they wanted to make sure that if he was ever had a girl throw himself at him, and then he changes his mind, they change their mind, he won't just be like, nope, and just take it from there. So I
Yeah,
guess
she
An
likes.
throws herself at him to prove this.
Yeah,
I
she
think
like
An is
throws
just in
herself
love
on.
with him. I think An
I
is
think
just
so
in love
too.
with him, and she's just making up excuses to throw herself at him.
Oh, I totally agree too, because she's literally like on him. She's just like, "Hey, you want to fool around?" And he's literally like, oh God, she's 17. She's 17. Abort, abort." And then the other guy just comes in time to stop it, and he's just like, "On, stop it." And then they come clean, and then he's just like, "Thank God, I wasn't attracted to a 17-year-old."
Yay, I'm not a pedophile.
Yay, I'm not a, I'm not a,
Yay.
I'm not a gross old man.
God damn it. Okay. And then they kind of have like a weird relationship between An and the main character's handler.
Yeah,
And the reason for this is because the main character was supposed to be supervised by An, not by the supervisor he has. And the reason she's not his supervisor is because their training is supposed to take 1 year. An failed it in the first year, so she has to retake it. So because of that, she's not able to be the supervisor that she wanted to be for the main character, which is
yeah.
further evidence I really think she's in love with him.
Which, to be fair to On, the actual other handler also failed the first year of training. Like it does happen apparently. So like doing 2 years of training is actually not like that uncommon.
Yeah, it's not super uncommon. It's just happened to happen this time around.
Which I appreciate that because I was like, is On just a scrub? And then like I actually putting behind detail. I was like, oh okay. She's still a scrub, but like she's not like that like yeah. But I don't know. I liked between Anya and the other handler because they seem to have like a friendship or some kind of weird tension between the two. He's always like mad at her because she does stupid shit, and she's like always looking up to him, which is adorable. Which is like I like a lot of their interactions.
They do have some cute interactions. So then the other important thing that happens in this volume is Karyu, the red-haired girl, who somehow we don't have a fucking picture of, manages to get herself hurt.
Yeah.
Do I have a single fucking picture of Karyu anywhere?
Welcome back, Moxie.
In anything? I doubt it. We had like nothing for real life last week. Oh yeah, here we go. This girl manages to hurt her ankle.
Yeah. And she's too proud and stubborn to actually, say anything about it like a normal person would.
Is this the part where I'm supposed to interrupt you because that's not what happened?
Okay, carry on. Sorry. Apparently that
um
didn't happen.
no, she fucking twisted her, like sprained her ankle right in the middle of volleyball practice. Everyone saw. She jumped in the air, landed on a volleyball, sprained her ankle, and slammed her face into the ground. How do you hide that fact? But she's pissed off because the only reason she did is because you're fucking kidding me. Is because this girl, who also happens to be her best fucking friend, I only have this picture of her. This girl, who is the captain of the volleyball team, passes out in the middle of practice. And knocks over the bag of balls, and they go everywhere and roll over everything.
Yeah,
And
pretty
she
much.
jumps in the air anyway and lands on the ball and twists her ankle. And they get into a huge tough. And the problem with this, frankly, I don't know. The rest of this volume is so stupid because it's a back and forth between this girl and the rest. Oh, and this girl finally realizes she's in love with the main character.
Yeah, yeah. I was pretty excited for that because she like Google searches her symptoms and they're like, "Oh, you must be in love." And she's like, "Nah."
Nah,
But
that's not what happens.
you know how Google's always inaccurate. And then like she talks to her friends, and the friends are like, "Yeah, it sounds like you're in love with them." And she's like, "That's what Google
Yeah, that's literally what she said. She's like, that's what the internet said.
said." Yeah, pretty much. And then she's like, "Nah, that can't be it."
Yeah.
She's a
So
scrub.
she is falling in love with the main character. And he doesn't know that because he's an
Nope.
idiot. He's a dense idiot.
But in his defense, she's pretty socially awkward. So
Right?
he's just so he's probably just chalking it up to like, oh, she's just being her.
So the big problem is that his girlfriend to be is friends with both Karyu, red haired girl, and volleyball captain girl.
Yeah.
And now they're not talking to each other because red haired girl blows up at the volleyball captain girl.
Yeah, pretty much. And volleyball girl is like, I don't even know what I did wrong.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, no, she knows exactly what she did wrong. She's upset about it too. But because not, she doesn't have to try. She doesn't have to put an effort for her skill.
Yeah.
Even though she does, she doesn't have to.
Like she doesn't have to put as much effort in others. Like it just comes naturally to her.
Yes. And because of that, the others get pissed off at her. Other than that, though, unfortunately, lots of issues were brought up in this volume. Nothing actually got resolved in this volume from anything, other than the fact that we got a little bit of more background information on Onoya. Nothing about that situation got resolved, and the entire situation with Karyu and God, I wish I remembered her name. The volleyball captain girl. That whole situation is completely unresolved at this point. So, kind of left us with a cliffhanger for every issue that could possibly be a thing.
Yeah, pretty much. But like I guess like it's building up for the next chapter, which I'm kind of looking forward to there being resolutions. But seriously, fuck people.
Right?
I guess for me, the biggest takeaway was how Hikaru, yeah, that's her name now, uh, was essentially like, I don't know. She's like always like, oh, I don't want to be this proud girl. I don't want to be this girl. I don't want to be this person. And she does nothing to resolve it. Like I know she's trying to find her way to resolve it. I'm just hoping like, eventually she'll lose that pride that she's holding so much on to. Because I think
Yeah.
things would go so much better for her.
Yeah, her need to be in first place with everything is just. She has to let it go or she's never going to advance as a person.
I guess my personal favorite also is the segment where Girl That Can't Smile Very Well is literally like, I don't think I have a crush on him. I'm just saying he's gotten a lot of friends, but I was his first one. And I thought for sure I was a little special. He looks like he's having fun so much, which he once was it with his
I
circle
can't
of
tell if
friends.
she's
Look at him.
reading this off of the panel
I
because
am.
like
I am actually.
this is
I
literally
actually
the
am.
panel that I had up 10 seconds
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. Like she's just like literally describing her crush on him. Like she's literally and her friends are literally like, you like him. You so like him.
And she also is like after this she goes on about how I have so much less I'm happy when he's having fun with his friends, but I have so much less happiness when he's having fun with his friends that are female. And it's
Yes.
like,
You
really?
like him. It's almost like you get jealous. It's almost like you like him. And she's like, nah, that can't be it.
Right?
I don't know if she's
Ugh.
never just been in a relationship or she's never liked anyone before. I'm just like wondering like what her actual high school was like back in the day. Like, oh my gosh. Well, he's just like, I think I like her, but I can't like a 17-year-old. Like, it's just like the opposite spectrum.
They need to
Or he
frick
fully knows,
already.
yeah, he fully knows his feelings, but he's purposely holding himself back because he's mentally like older than her, well, also physically, but still. And he's like, I can't touch that. As much as I want to, I can't touch it.
He just needs to frick her already.
Nah,
It's legal.
it's not legal, my
It is
dude.
legal. That's
What do you
something
want?
that they've repeatedly stated is that they won't get in the way if it is consensual.
Yeah, but he would know.
Oh no, yeah, and what's his face repeatedly say that they won't interfere if it's consensual because it is legal because they are 17.
Nah, like he knows though. He like to him he would know.
Yeah, I mean
So like him as a character.
it still makes him feel wrong because they're still
Yeah.
17, but it's there's nothing culturally or legally wrong with it. He's
Oh, I
just a
understand.
weirdo. Like that's
Yeah,
the
just
thing you
him
got
as
to
a
understand
character.
is he's the weirdo in this.
Oh, I not understand that. I'm speaking in his perspective. Like to him, he would know, and then he would feel like he's being dishonest with her because like he's not the same age as her, so he couldn't do it. He's a good guy.
Makes sense. Totally.
All right, I think we can skip to our next one.
Can we?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Hear that? We're still skipping to our next one, guys.
What do you want to pick?
I don't care. We can talk about citrus. Oh, I hate that.
Ooh, yes. Let's talk about citrus. Let's talk all about it.
Holy. There we go. Mute that shit. There we go. Now we won't have any more interruptions. All right. Katie, talk.
I don't know what to talk about.
I mean, do you want people to be able to hear you? Because I kind of need you to, you know.
Doe, a deer, a
There we go.
female
Good.
deer. There we go.
All right. Best part about mic check is that if I change my volume at all whatsoever, Katie's mic check gets fucked up.
Yeah, which is sad because I show up on time and everything
I know,
today.
right? I was so confused.
I know, like I came 15 minutes early and he was like, "Oh God, I'm not ready for her."
There we go.
Anyway, so yeah, let's talk about citrus. Let's talk about my sister molested me on our first meet. Let's talk about that one. That's literally what happens. She
It's
literally. Okay, she kind of had it coming slightly because she kind of judged the situation, but in her defense, like she wasn't there for the whole situation.
she doesn't molest her in the first time they meet.
That basically the first face-to-face interaction in their room.
Okay.
Yeah,
That wasn't the first
like
time they met though. The first
at
time
their
they
own
met was
house.
the first time they met was when they yeah, her sister gripped her ass while stealing her phone. So
Yeah, like
yeah, okay,
so
fair.
yeah. Let's yeah. Okay. So in May's defense, though, she's very strict with rules. It's okay. So let's backtrack. Let's actually explain what the story is about
Yeah,
before we
let's
jump
drop a whole
into.
synopsis right from the get go because we're like, yeah. So this story is about two girls who one of the girls gets her mom gets remarried and they move to another part of Japan and she goes to a new school, which is an all girls school. And at this all girls school, her sister, her stepsister, who is her new father's daughter, who she has not yet met, is the student council president and is like super rule driven because she lives with her grandfather, who is the principal,
It's like the
dean,
director of the
director.
school. He's like as high as you can go in that school.
Yeah, he's like the chairman, I think is what they refer to him
Yeah,
as.
pretty much.
Um, and then the very first time they interact with each other, the main character Yuzu, which is why this story is called Citrus, by the way, in case anyone hadn't figured that out,
No, I
is
didn't.
yeah, I know you didn't.
No, I did. I'm just saying they don't. Like some people don't read manga or
Yeah,
thing.
so,
Yeah.
so the main character's name is Yuzu, and she is kind of a gal.
Okay. Okay. No, but like basically, she has her hair dyed. She's super prettied up. Like she's a fashion trend fashionista essentially.
Yeah,
But in
I
Japan, it's
probably
like
should have explained for the non-weebs that a gal is a term for a girl who like overdoes their makeup, does dyes their hair, um, isn't the traditional image of Japanese attractiveness, is very much closer to the what would be expected out of an American high school
yeah,
girl.
she's westernized beauty, which in Japan is like super out there. While in Japan they're more formal and more straight laced with their clothing and like neatness, stuff like that. So she's got her nails done, she's got her hair done, she's got like the makeup, full blown makeup, and she goes to school. And basically, May sees her, and she's like blatantly like she didn't even read the rule book, which in Japan that's what like the first thing you do. Which I was like, oh my god, May, oh my god, Yuzu, you're so fucked. And um, so essentially, she goes there, and May's just like, you just like violated like every rule, and Yuzu's like, I don't care. And then in retaliation, May's like, I'm gonna have to have your phone. So she starts like searching Yuzu's whole entire body,
I mean,
which
she literally hid the phone in her panties, so
I mean, that's true, but still, like May, like usually didn't help it, but May
May gets
finishes.
that fucking phone. Let's
Well,
put it that way.
she gets that phone. Like she searches all over with her hands.
That phone might be in Yuzu's panties, but May does not give two fucks.
Yeah.
Not until
So May
later.
gets the phone, and Yuzu's like, "Oh my god, I just got like, oh my gosh, what was that?" And then Yuzu discovers she likes girls. Well, it starts to. That's like the first thing because she was like, "Oh, I'm really excited. I don't know why I'm so excited." And I was like, "I think it's because you like girls, Yuzu. I think it's because you like girls." But no, like that's basically it. And then like she goes into class and everyone in class is staring at her. And then this one other girl who basically looks like the girl from was it Blue Exorcist? That someone's the fox things. Like she looks like this other character that I know. It's like she has like the very short eyebrows and like the cute hair and stuff. And she's like, you look like someone that's a rule breaker. I want to be your friend. So they
Yeah.
like basically become friends from that point. And tells her like the school rules, like, hey, you can't have your hair dyed, you can't do this and this, and then talks about May and how May's like the goddess of the school, and everyone wants to be her, and everyone's up her butt. Like that's basically the description for May. Oops, sorry.
And then, of course, we get to the parts where May or Yuzu finds out that May is betrothed to one of the
Like
teachers at the school.
like a teacher student,
And this
something
is how
like
she
that.
finds out which one.
Yeah.
So she sees them kissing outside the
Yeah.
outside the school. And of course, May has to see her.
Yeah, which okay, when you're actually looking at this, and if you're a person that actually can read body language, May looks uncomfortable.
May is
May
not
looks
enjoying this makeup
enjoying this at
session.
all. Like her makeup, her face is scrunched up. She's tense. Her shoulders are tense. He's basically grabbing her and pushing her against the wall. Like she's not enjoying this. Like that is a face of a person. It's like, God, please stop. Your breath stinks. You need a breath mint, my dude. This is not what I wanted. I like girls. Get the fuck off me. Like this is, yeah.
Yeah. So then, of course, Yuzu does the not so great choice of pushing May later on in the evening, making fun of her about it,
Yeah, because
which
Yuzu can't read body language whatsoever. She's just like, oh, they're macking out.
which
That's it.
leads to this scene where she's like, "Oh, what was it like?" And May's like, "Come here, let me show you."
Yeah, like literally, she's just like, well, you shouldn't be kissing your boyfriend like that in the school. And, I wonder, what is that like?
Big
And
Papa's gonna bring you to D.
hentai on this Kristen stream. This great. I'm sorry. You must get us confused with anyone else's stream but this one.
Yes, we're doing citrus.
Yeah. No, and then Yuzu's like, oh my god, what is going on? And May just takes it fucking further than it needed to be. That's why I'm saying basically she molested Yuzu. Okay, like, I understand Yuzu kind of had it coming, but no one deserves this. But, good news for May, it makes Yuzu discover she likes girls even more.
Yeah.
So,
After this,
there's a
Yuzu's
plus.
like, fuck. Why didn't I
We
do
told
this
you last
before?
session we were doing Citra Cyber. You were known.
Yeah, Citrus just started this week. This is first volume.
Yeah.
So after, of course, after this, Yuzu's like, I gotta get some more of that hot sweet puss puh.
Yeah, pretty much. No, Yuzu's just like, why am I tingling? And she's just like freaking the fuck out. And then like she has like a little bit of an emo like half hour session where she's just like, oh my god, there's something wrong with me. I've never felt this way before. And then she like starts looking at girl on girl manga and she's just like, oh my
Yes,
god.
actually, she starts looking at fucking girl on girl sisters manga.
Yes, and then she's just like, oh my god, I have a fetish. Like she's just like has this epiphany.
Yeah.
Like
And then, of course, so like, they're like, her mom's like, the next day is like, oh, by the way, we don't have to keep
you're
those
allowed
two
to jealous
separate
of Yuzu.
mattresses in your bedroom. We're gonna put one big double size mattress in your bedroom, and you guys can
Get to
sleep
share.
together. You guys can
Because
share.
I'm unaware of growing teenage girls. How this works. You're jealous of Yuzu? I mean, I can make that happen. Um, and she's just like, daddy. And I was waiting for Yuzu to be like, I can be your daddy, but I realized that's not this kind of manga. I'm like, damn, do I wish that would have happened? Because I think that would have been amazing. And then she's like, oh god, sorry. Oh, she's a sleep talker. Wait, why am I apologizing? And May's just like, Dad. It's not incest, they're not related. So it's technically legal.
It's technically legal. It's not even weird in Japan. You
Yeah.
guys got to understand that this is a really reoccurring theme in Japanese mangas and anime because there is this weird concept in Japan, and I forgive me if I don't explain it super well because I'm not even super on the same page as to why it's the case.
Yeah.
But there is like a almost like a superstition that a business is more functional and more profitable if that business is kept in the family.
Yep.
So what will happen is if you have, and also because of that, it's very, very, very common for a Japanese businessman who's higher up in his company to have his son replace him when he leaves and have his son basically go into the same business that he's in. So what often happens is that let's say company A wants to be knows that they aren't going to be functional long term or they aren't going obviously people die. So company A goes to company B who has and says, "Hey, do you guys have anybody high up in your business that has a son that I can basically adopt into my family so that they can run my business and then both businesses will and the benefit to business B is that both businesses will now be run by the same family by their family as well." So they agree to it. Business A's owner or whatever adopts this son from business B. Well, part of it to stay in the same family at that point is that then the son in business B is expected to marry his sister, who is the daughter of owner of business A.
Oh,
And
yeah. Okay. I was about to say where
it's
is
a
this going right now?
huge
Okay.
clusterfuck. But
Yeah.
because of that like overbearing thing of keeping everything in the family, it becomes very, very, very common in their media that incestual relationships, they never specify that the brother and sister are not related by blood. It is always implied that that's the case.
Yes, but if it like comes to light, it's a very bad thing. Like it is frowned-ish
Incest,
upon,
but
and
incest
like
between blood relatives is still technically illegal, etc., etc. But
yeah.
incest that is not between blood relatives is very, very, very common and is looked at as a like benefit to both families. So
Now, if they're
like
cousins, they're kind of lenient for some reason with the whole cousin thing because oh yeah, they're not fully blood. I guess it's
that's
okay.
because the brother and that's because the brother and the sister of the dad and mom that makes them cousins aren't blood related.
I know that, but I'm still saying like
Which
technically
means
they're not
which
blood
means
related,
cousins they're
but
not blood related either. Even though they're cousins, they're not blood related because the mom and dad that are brother and sister that makes them
oh, never
cousins
mind.
are not blood related.
Never mind. I thought it was like actual like half-blooded cousins, and I was like, nah.
No, no, it's the
Okay.
exact same
I was
thing. It's
still
just because, but
okay.
at the same time, because there's that superstition that they have to be like that it's keeping it in the family. They're expected to act in all ways, shapes, and forms and refer to each other as family. So it never is
Yeah.
like over because of that. It's never overtly stated in manga. Like perfect example, Sword Art Online's second arc
Oh yeah.
where there is the very obvious sister of Kirito who is clearly trying to get that sword. Um, that is
Clearly.
she is not blood related to him.
Oh, I thought
Another
she
example would
was.
be Aramanga Sensei, where very clearly the daughter wants or the sister wants some of that pen. Uh,
Okay, but like when it comes to like step siblings, basically how they view it on Among Us, it's fair game.
yeah,
Like, yeah, they're not
it's
gonna
fair game.
broadcast that shit, but it's fair
Oh
game.
no, they're gonna broadcast. Well, that's the other thing is it's weird because they don't broadcast it, but they don't try and hide it either. It's so weird.
Like
It's
they
really
kind of are
hard
those like
to.
influence. Like we don't tell our parents. The parents get like if the parents catch on eventually, that's cool. But we're not gonna like broadcast the shit. We're gonna
See,
like play it cool.
the thing you have to understand is that's less about the incest side of things, and that's more about the PDA being not okay in
Yeah.
Japanese culture. You don't even. The thing is they actually have two phrases for "I love you" because PDA is so unacceptable in Japanese culture. It's not even considered uh culturally acceptable to say I love you to another person in public, not romantic love. So they have two
Yeah.
different forms of the word. There's daisuki,
Hashiteru.
which is daisuki is the appropriate one to say, which is why you often see when they make confessions, they always say I like you or I like you in the translations. That's why, is because they're saying daisuki, which effectively translates to I love you, but I'm not going to say that. And whereas Aishiteru, which is the
I love
deep
you.
romantic
I
you're
love
my
you, and
forever partner, I love you forever kind of
I
thing,
will go to
that's
war
like
for you.
super, yeah, I'll go to war for
I will
you.
work
i
for you. I will
i
bring
will
you five
burn
cows.
nations to the
I will
ground
burn
at your
nations to
feet.
the
That
ground. I will bring you 5 cows so your father can approve of us. I will go beyond the stars. Like it's just like
yeah,
super love.
and
But
that
they're
is
just
like
they cringe. They cringe so hard if you say that.
yes, they do, because part of the thing is that most married couples won't even say that to each other in private,
Yeah.
let alone in public, because it's
They won't.
that it's that over the top. It's kind of like legitimately like if you started quoting Romeo and Juliet to somebody you've been hanging out with in high school and want to date, that's basically the equivalent if you were to say that, go to up to a guy in a corner and say that to him.
Like they just find like they love do little their actions. They're more about where like action wise, like they'll do like nice things for each other and like do things that that favors or combinations, stuff like that. That's how they show their love more. They're not about words. Like they won't actually like say sweetie or make cute nicknames or things like that. Like they're like if you're a couple in Japan, like it's more about like taking care of each other and like building a partnership. It's
Yeah.
formal but not formal. Like that's usually how it goes.
Yeah, the only
Very
reason that like baby and sweetie thing shows up in Nisekoi is because of the fact that it's a fake relationship. That's the
yeah.
reason it shows up is because it's playing off of the fact that you know it's a fake relationship, so they play it up to play into the fact that one of the two of their parents that are watching them is American.
Yeah. Like that's the only reason why.
Yeah, whereas in everything else it pretty much won't show up at all.
So like the fact that May like kiss Yuzu, that's why also why Yuzu freaked the fuck out because like that's going beyond any formal Japanese thing really like on the first day. Like it's just like that level of fuckery. Like it's something you just don't do.
Katie, can you take a look at your Discord real quick and make sure voice connected is still at green?
You're breaking in and out.
Yeah, it's on your end. That's why I'm asking you to take a look.
It's like my connection's good.
Okay, you're good now. I just want to make sure we got back to stable before we continued because you cut out
Sorry.
a couple times during that.
Oh yeah, no, I was just basically saying when May kissed Yuzu, it's like the equivalent of her saying her first name on the first meeting. Like the informality went way beyond social norms. But in May's defense, Yuzu's not all about social norms. So
So that other the picture we just had up, actually brings up a secondary point, something that becomes relevant later. May's dad is not around. He is
I know,
not
right?
a yeah. May's dad is not around currently. He basically travels the world as like a traveling teacher to teach like Japanese and Japanese culture to people in other countries. And he'll even do like missions to like Africa and stuff like that.
Which is
Um
legit,
he's
actually.
legit when we actually do finally meet him, he's legit as fuck. But because he's never around, he's kind of treated like a deadbeat dad for most of the beginning of this series, which is why she's laying in bed crying for her daddy.
Yeah. Which at
And
first I
then
was like, what the fuck's wrong with this dad? But then when you actually meet their dad, you're
wait,
like, oh.
do I have the image where oh I don't have that because I didn't think it would be very appropriate for Twitch. So next thing that happens is Yuzu comes to school still dressing like a hooligan,
Yeah.
and her grandpa is there, the chairman,
Oh yeah, best
and
part.
throws a fit and kicks her out for the day. And
Yeah.
then she goes over to May's house later that day, and or she is then to make an example of Yuzu, May is told to move back in with her grandfather, which she does because she does what she's told, like a good little sub. And
Oh.
Yuzu is like, "Whoa, I'm not okay with this. I gotta save her." And then May's like, "Oh, you're gonna rescue me from my big bad grandpa's house?"
And then Yuzu's like, fuck, that's right, I'm gay for her. What do I do?
Yeah, and Yuzu's like, "Oh God, I'm so horny right now, and she's so close to me." And then she just doesn't respond, and May's like, "Never mind," and then
Yeah,
walks
May's like,
away.
okay. That's why I like to say May plays mind games. May knows. May isn't stupid. May can understand the spy language. He understands what the Yuzu's going through and is actively messing with Yuzu at this point.
May fucking knows, my dude.
She has to. There's just no way. May's
Yeah,
not
if
stupid.
she doesn't know by now, it becomes more obvious because then, in order to, or this is the part that I don't have a picture for, in order to rescue May from her big scary grandpa's house, she goes over there and May fucking decides, "Oh, your shirt looks a little tight. Let's just fucking take it off."
Yeah, like I like to stress how much Yuzu actually technically gets molested.
It
She
happens a
doesn't say
lot.
yes. She doesn't say no. She's kind of like, what's going on? And why is my body reacting this way?
Yuzu gets molested
That's
4
silly.
separate times before
Uh,
she turns the table and actually starts reciprocating in a way where you would no
yeah.
longer consider it assault.
It's like a cringy, like, oh, I'm slowly realizing I'm a lesbian experience watching this because, like, this is exactly how I feel that process is. You're like, why is my body feeling this way with a girl? Oh, fuck, I'm lesbian.
So then, while they're making out with Yuzu just wearing her bra, guess who
Yes.
walks in?
Good old
Hey,
Grandpappy.
Grandpa!
Hey, Grandpappy. I'm just going to make sesh with my stepsister. Don't mind me.
Yeah. So he walks in and tells Yuzu she's expelled and he never wants to see her again. And
Yeah.
she then decides, you know what? Fuck that shit. I'm not expelled. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to the school and talk to Grandpa, and I'm going to make him fucking let me come back, and I'm going to make him let May move back in with me. I don't know how she plans to do any of this. She literally
Right.
walks into his fucking office and is like, "Hey, Grandpa." And then he's laying on the fucking floor face down after like having some sort of medical problem. So he wakes up in the
Yeah.
hospital. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. He's just like, no, granddaughter of mine's going to be some kissy girl kissing lady. I'm going to expel this other girl because she's obviously the problem.
Right. Because it's not May that's the problem. It's you, Izu.
Why do I feel like this was a hentai Grams would have joined? You
If this
know?
is a Cramps would enjoy. God damn it. You're probably not wrong.
I feel like it wasn't the grandkids. I feel like if it was any other girls, he'd be like, "Oh, let me show you whippersnappers how it's done, grandpa style." Ugly bastard. She's like, "Crap, I fell asleep. I wonder how Gramps is doing." Oh,
Yeah,
so she
so
was laying on the floor,
yeah, he was just laying on the floor passed out.
and then she also laid on the floor near his bed.
No, this is she's sleeping in the waiting room.
Oh, it's a bench. I was like,
Yeah, it's like a couch in the waiting
I
room of
thought
the
she was laying on the
hospital.
floor like a freak next to the bed, and I was like,
No.
"What the fuck, you?"
No, if you read the panel in order, she wakes up, then she opens a door, so she's not in the same room in the first panel as she is in the second panel. So then,
She's like, "Oh,
after.
awkward family moment."
So now, because Grandpa, the chairman's not there, and May is expected to be the best child on the planet, she is supposed to go and basically do all of his duties while he is bedridden. But luckily, she has a friend to help her with this. Best girl enters the game. Really, you're not gonna argue with me here?
Oh, that. No, she's not best girl.
Yeah, no, this girl's definitely
Get
best
the
girl.
fuck out of
This is
here.
like this is the student council vice president who has
Nah.
been friends with May forever and is definitely has a lady boner for May.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely has a lady boner for May, which admittedly, in her defense, I've got a lady boner for May and I don't even have a lady boner. So,
Oh my god.
yes, queen.
Oh my god. Something's going
Anyway, so this girl becomes basically May's right hand and is basically going to classes for May and getting her notes and all that.
down.
And yeah, her name's Momo. Thank you, Cyber, for reminding me of what her name was because I had forgotten.
Fucking use it.
Momo.
Yeah.
Momo is always best girl. It doesn't matter what manga it is. It's just a matter of time.
No, I feel like Yuzu's best friend is best girl
Really? For who? Yuzu or for May?
for everyone involved.
Okay. You might be right. She's pretty
She's
cute.
the MVP.
I have a picture of her, but she's pretty cute. But I had to have a picture of this girl because hair drills.
Or just your GM.
Yeah, I mean Misha's best girl.
Okay, carrying
Anyways,
on because
so
I can't stand any more lady boners with you right
no
now.
more lady
It just
boners.
feels bad. It
No
just
more
feels bad when
no
it
more
comes
lady
from
boners for
you.
Katie. So anyway, she
Fair.
basically is tries to get Yuzu to back off of May. And
Yeah.
that works about every bit as well as one would expect it to, which is not fucking at all.
Because she's just like the nerd of the school coming up to her going, hey, you need to stop having them lady boners with May because she's student council president and I'm right hand woman and I'm in love. I mean, she needs to focus on her studies and you're in the way. So you need to stop doing that or else
Yeah,
they'll
and
ruffle you up
May shuts her down fucking hard.
hard.
Let's
Yeah.
be real. May shuts Momo down super fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like
It's
so
just like,
hard it feels bad because I'm like May is like shuts her down so hard she's like I'm not even into girls. What the fuck is wrong with you? And it's like you're not into girls yet you're fucking your sister? What the fuck? How cruel do you have to fucking be to get a point across?
like Mama just finishes defending Meg, and May's just like, I'm sorry, did I fucking need you to defend me, you piece of shit?
Yeah, it's real bad. Like
It's
May
real
is
bad. I felt bad for
fucking
Momo.
harsh to Momo pretty constantly. And then of course Momo goes and talks to Yuzu and is like, I need you to stay away from May. She is having a lot of problems right now and you are not helping. So what does Yuzu do? The exact fucking opposite. She's like, all right, bitch, it's my time to shine.
Like, that's cute, Momo. Why don't you go make coffee and yeah, do whatever you do on your weekends?
Because I'm going to go fuck your girl and you can hit my grandpa's office.
So she has like epiphany that she's finally full-blown a lesbian and goes tell May about it because it's all May's fault, which actually it is. So she just basically is like, why did you make me into this? Why didn't you have to kiss me? Why did you have to make my body tingle? Like, she's just like giving this all to May, and May's like, oh fuck, I fucked up. I've done fucked up.
It is in the nature of men to make lesbians, and it's in the nature of lesbians to destroy their creator. I don't know.
What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck?
May's just like, oh, you made me into a. Yuzu's like, you made me into a lesbian. Now I'm gonna return the favor. Bend over.
Fucked up. Oh god. Like, this is his face. Like,
look at this shit. Yuzu even fucking went for the leg trip. What? Like, oh, sorry. I don't have my fucking. I don't have my cursor. Oh, son of a bitch! Did I really just break my cursor? I did. No, I didn't. She even fucking threw the fucking leg.
Scissors.
She fucking threw the.
Scissors
God damn it!
right
Why
now.
don't I have scissors right now? I didn't think about that, but that's really fucking good. Anyway. So she even throws the leg between. Like, come on, yep. She knows the tricks.
Yeah, exactly. She's just like full blown confessing, and May's just like, "Oh God."
May's like, "What have I?" At first, May's like, "What have I fucking done?" And then she's like, "Maybe I can be into this. We'll see what happens.
Flip this around."
So that pretty much actually like this that. After she leaves from making out with May, after Yuzu leaves the office from making out with May, she goes running away because May kind of sort of rejects her a little bit.
Yeah.
And Momo watches her run away and then comes in the office and sees May like panting and being like, oh, what the fuck? Like, you know, like girls do. And Momo's like, what the fuck is going on here? Oh, I do have a little bit more.
Because, you know, when girls talk to other girls, we start panting and our clothes are a mess and shit. Because that's true.
I'm assuming that's what you do when you fucking make out with girls with their fucking knee grinding between your legs. I don't know. That's what I do when a girl does that to me.
That's just a normal girl conversation. I was like, have you never seen two girls talk?
I mean, sleepover parties are a meme for a reason. I'm just putting that out there.
Oh my god.
So anyway, that ends that volume. Literally after Momo walks in and sees May like panting on the desk.
And poor Momo, because Momo's just like, what the fuck?
And poor Momo, because Momo's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I've loved you forever. Speaking of loving somebody forever, you know where we got to go next, right?
I guess.
You don't have a fucking clue.
No, I don't. I really don't.
So I was gonna say Nisekoi.
Oh, all right, because new girl.
Because new girl. All
Oh yeah,
right.
it just gets better, folks. This just gets instantly better.
Yeah. So Nisekoi, last week we let's at least do projections for Citrus. Do we like it so far? First
Yeah,
volume.
I like talking about it. It's literally fun because like I've seen the anime, I haven't read the manga, so like I kind of know what's going on. But I like reading the manga so far.
I've only read the manga through volume 5, so I'm not even halfway done with it.
Fair enough.
So I'm really happy that we're reading it because I wanted to finish it because I really do enjoy this manga. It's very good.
I
It only
really
gets
just
better from here.
the only thing I'm expecting from you for next week is scissors, specifically for this manga.
But I've already fucking have them. Like it took me like
It's
2
already
minutes.
happened.
Like
Yeah.
I just didn't have time while we were literally in mid conversation. But
Damn it. Sorry for the background noise. I'm adjusting.
oh, you're fine.
Yeah, let's keep it.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. I like it. It's good. I'm really happy we're reading it. I won't lie.
I got a huge fucking headache. Holy shit.
That was not where I expected
Nisekoi.
that sentence to go, just so we're on the same page.
Okay. My so Nisekoi basically is literally like, how can we fuck with the people reading this even more? Oh wait, let's like
Wait. We gotta do this in the right order. Because you
okay.
gotta before he finds out what we're about to discuss, he goes and talks to Onodera
Yeah.
and he's like, hey, Onodera, we need to fucking talk about this pendant and the fact that I know you have a key. Did we make a promise 10 years ago? She's like, yeah. Yeah, we did. Don't you remember? And he's like, oh. Actually, I have fucking images for all these things.
I was about to say, yeah.
So
He's just, like,
I don't know why the hell I'm just
ecstatic.
so
He's like ecstatic, which
she
I don't blame him.
he sees her smile like this and he instantly remembers the girl from back 10 years ago. And he's
Yep.
like, "Wait, what the fuck is going on?" And then he goes like this. Were you the girl I made a promise with 10 years ago? And you're expecting her to be like, I don't fucking remember. Nobody fucking remembers because let's keep this fucking drama angst bullshit going on as long as humanly possible. But
Yeah.
instead, she subverts all your expectation, is like, yeah, motherfucker, I am. How'd you fucking forget, you piece of shit?
Like, I thought it was obvious this whole time.
So then, it gets even better.
Oh my god.
Because
How many people
just
are in this promise?
when we're like, oh, finally, best girl is actually best girl, and we don't have to fucking worry about anybody else getting
our
between
prayers
them,
have
and
been answered.
we can just say fuck all y'all, fuck gorilla face American biatch. We can just fucking be perfectly happy with best girl, and then this shit fucking happens.
Yeah. And I was really mad. I was like, oh my god. We need to keep a tally. We need to make like a tally on here with like keys and lockets. And we need to put their faces underneath each key and locket so we can keep like a score.
So we can keep a goddamn score, right?
Score, yes.
So then we have him be like, or she's like, oh, does the word zaze in love mean anything to you? And he's like, oh god, oh no, are you the fucking girl? Because why the fuck would he know fucking bullshit fucking words like that out of nowhere? Of course. So then
I wonder if he just like kept giving girls lockets and they're all the girls.
he of course is like, oh, maybe it's us. Wait, you have the key on you? And I'm right here with the pendant? We have to try it. So then there's this fucking holy shit fucking double entendre scene right here. I had to fucking clip this because it's like, you guys have to see the fucking innuendo right here.
Here. Right.
And the innuendo continues because then she breaks the fucking key trying to turn it.
Which is actually kind of depressing because, like, that was a really nice, like, necklace. So I would
The
have been
key or the pendant?
Both. Both.
Well, he gets the pendant fixed.
Did she get the key fixed?
I don't fucking know. It might not. It
Probably.
might not matter because here's the thing. You know how you break keys when you put them
Yeah.
in locks?
Yeah, the key stays in the lock.
No, you know what? Why a key will break when you try and turn it in a lock?
Why?
Because it's not the right fucking key.
Second key, yeah. Welcome back, Moxie. Um, yeah, no, which I felt bad for her because she was like super pumped, but at the same time, I'm happy for Best Girl.
Yeah, I was really, really, really happy for Onodera too. Until he goes and talks to his dad, and he's like, "Hey, Dad, do we have any pictures at all of when we went on that trip a while ago and we spent time?" Because his dad mentions, "Oh, you were friends with Onodera and Kurosaki 10 years ago. You were friends with both of them. Of course you remember them." And he's like, "Why do I have?" And he's like, "I was? Huh?
Yeah, pretty much. What?
Am I retarded?
Like, you could have fucking mentioned this to me, old man?
You couldn't have mentioned this shit to me? You couldn't have said something?" And he's like, "Yeah, I mean, we've got pictures." And he's like, "No, we fucking don't. I searched everywhere for them. I turned this house upside down looking for them." And his dad's like, "Well, of course you didn't find them, moron. They're in the fucking shed where we store all of our old shit." And then
Like a normal
once again,
Japanese family.
Raku's like, "Am I retarded?" So he finally,
Probably.
so he goes and he starts looking and he doesn't find it right away, and then he finds it on day 2, and this
Yep.
is the fucking picture he finds, and he's like, "Wait, this fucking girl isn't either of the fucking girls that I've been talking to, and she has a key in her fucking hand."
Yep.
And I'm wearing my locket. What the fuck is going on?
I think he made keys for all 3 girls.
I think
And
none of them
I
fit the
think
locket.
I think there were 3 boys and 3 girls, and all 3 boys are like being a weird club, and they're like, "Oh, let's do keys and lockets to show who's best friends with who," and she happens to be his best friend. Like, I think that's what happened. Explains why everyone has fucking something.
Right? So then the dad was like, "Oh, yeah, that girl. That girl's your fiance. And she's coming to visit."
Your fiance with your fiance.
And he's like, "What did you say?" And he's like, "Your fiance." And he's like, "Whose fiance?" "Yours."
Yours. You mean you could have told me that, Dad, when I declared she was my girlfriend?
Right? When you made me fucking date this
Date?
girl. This girl I don't want to fucking date. You couldn't have said, "Oh, but by the way, also I'm going to make you marry somebody else. Because if you don't, I'm going to get in lots of trouble. Because this somebody else is the
This poor
fucking
girl.
daughter of the chief of police in Tokyo."
This poor girl. I hope she's like worse than Star Butterfly, so I don't feel as bad for her. I hope she has a really bad personality.
I mean,
Quite
so far
honestly.
she doesn't, and she's super fucking cute.
I'm hoping.
Marika Tachibana. And she's cute as fuck. And she is... So far, we've got a tsundere, a dandere. There's only one we're missing. There is only one we're missing. And from what I can tell, no, we have the quiet girl. That's Onodera. That's dandere.
Hawaii.
Oh, no. I'm pretty sure this girl's going to go the Act 2 Yuri route.
Oh, okay.
Which is to say, she's going to get a little bit stab and a half.
Yeah, probably.
A little bit Yamai up in here. Because she is super fucking obsessed with Raku. Like, holy crap.
Which honestly, I don't really get why. Because Raku doesn't have much going for him. He's not.
I mean, he's not unattractive.
Yeah, but he doesn't bring anything to the table. Not really. He's not good at sports.
He's not this unattractive.
He's not. His personality's pretty bland. I guess he's a nice guy. I guess that's what he's got going for him. Oh, he's got to get the fuck out of there. Get that shit out of there.
This is the face that one of his friends makes when he realizes that he has pictures of Onodera. He's like, oh, I can
Yeah.
sell them to you.
Oh my god. So fucked up. I want him to have Onodera's key or lock. I don't know.
You want him to have
Anyways.
Onodera's lock? Fucking A.
That would be awesome. You have to admit that would be pretty funny.
Yeah, it probably would be. So anyway, then Raku and this Tachibana girl go out on a date, and it's super cute. And she basically is like, "Oh, you don't remember me? I actually do remember everything, and I
Oh.
have this key right here, and I'll tell you everything, but you have to do something for me first."
He's like, oh,
And he's
you
like,
can do the
"What?"
hanky panky,
And he's just like, "What?" And she's just like, "Oh, you just have to break up with your girlfriend."
which is fair. It's a fair request because
Which is
they're
fair.
engaged. They're
Because we
engaged.
are fucking engaged. And this ain't no harem anime. Yes, it is.
It
Yes,
is, but she
it
doesn't want it to be, which I don't blame
is.
her.
I still
To be
think
honest,
best girl is Sugumi, the bodyguard.
her, yeah.
Yeah, I think she's the best. I think she's best girl still at this point.
But yeah, so Raku's like, well, fuck. Now I gotta break up with this girl that I spent all these like hours and days, like faking relationshiping this. So yeah, I'm literally gonna die.
I'm
I'll die.
literally going to die.
Die.
It's just a
I know.
matter of who's gonna kill me.
Exactly.
Probably not Sugumi. I think he can get. I think he can get her to not to be a little lenient on him.
Yeah, but there's Klaus. Like
Yeah,
if he
fuck
breaks up with
Klaus.
that, yeah, that's what I mean. Because remember, they're like, oh, if you break her heart,
Oh
you
yeah, I
know,
mean he's dying. Like that's a statement of fact.
yeah. I think if he plays off like that one girl breaks up with him, I think that's how he can get out of with it. But she needs him to be in the relationship, so yeah.
Yes, this is true.
Fun stuff. Let's go to One Punch because
Yeah.
I'm really upset because I fucked up and I read the wrong chapters again.
Yeah.
Which for next week I'm just not going to read One Punch because now I'm there anyway. So yeah.
I don't think I had very much of
But
One Punch.
my favorite character gets introduced in the next segment, which I'm excited.
Yeah.
Like man. I guess well, basically what happens is One Punch. What happens like in that chapter again? Like doesn't it that he takes the tests and stuff and gets graded?
No, that was last month. That was last week. This week it is he stops a meteor from blowing up the planet
Oh yeah.
with
Like
Genos's help.
yeah.
And he gets a couple of rankings higher because of it. And then but in the process a large portion of the city is broken, and he is like, oh, this is his response right here. Was his response. So the tank top dudes are like, hey, he's the one who blew up the city. And he's like, and he's like, I'm sorry. After they start fighting and he whoops their ass, they're like, I'm sorry for lying. And he's like, no, that wasn't a lie. I am the one who destroyed the meteor. And if you got a complaint, go fuck yourself.
Pretty much. I like him a lot as a character because he's seriously like, I just don't have time for this bullshit.
I'm not a hero because I want your approval. I'm a hero because I want to be.
Exactly.
And then, next thing that happens is a bunch of underwater dudes show up, underwater monsters show up and start trying to take over the city. And Saitama kills some of them. And then another hero takes out the next wave of them. And the king of them shows up and he just fucking wrecks shit.
It's not like the new Aquaman guy. It's like this fugly looking king guy too. It's like that one thing from One Piece with the shark dude, but it's like 1,000 times uglier than
and then,
dude.
of course, Supersonic gets sent to jail. A jail for supers, where this dude is in charge and he's super gay.
It's like I was like legitimately when I read this, I was like, "Oh, it's JoJo.
It's
It's somebody from
JoJo.
JoJo. It's
It
someone
does
from
feel
JoJo's
that way.
character." I was just like, "What? How's it going?" And I was like, "Oh, it's not JoJo." It's and then I was like, "Maybe it's one of the characters." So now I'm gonna go back to JoJo and see if I can spot him.
Other than that, though, not a lot happened in One Punch this week. It was sort of it is consistently a dull manga.
It has some good nuggets.
It has some
Like
good nuggets, but
the next one gets
overall,
better.
it's
The next one is better because it has more stuff picking up and a fight scene happens and then like Saitama be is like showing his true like hero ness and Bike Man,
yeah.
the
Um,
purity of Bike Man. God damn it,
Next up, slime. Maybe
Slime Baby. Okay,
we could do slime, or we could do Yamada.
let's do Slime.
Okay, so I only have looks like 3 pictures from slime,
Fair enough.
which the main thing is that they've now engaged the orcs and they're actively fighting the orcs, and some of the people who are behind the orcs are starting to show their hands.
Yeah,
Specifically, this dude right here is kind of like seems to be like a magic user, and he
yeah,
seems to be he is one of the second in commands of a demon lord. Um, Gelmood is a magic user. But this is not Gelmood. This is Laplace. Gelmood is like a magic user who named uh this fucking lizard guy Gabiru. And he kind of went and just he's fucking things up. That's kind of his thing. Is he's like doing chaotic shit and creating and sowing chaos and not really doing a good job of anything in the process. And then this is the demon lord who this dude actually works for, named Clayman, who we don't really
yeah.
know the details about. He just showed up at the very end of the manga. And the only other picture I really have for this one is gotta see Shion doing her thing. Chopping some orcs in half. Because that's what she
Yeah,
does. So his secretary girl, who is an ogre, has decided she is an ogre.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, well they're curing now, but I think they were ogres before. I don't remember. Oni, one of the two. Oni are technically ogres, so whatever. Either way, now she's like super fucking pretty and super obsessed with our slime main character.
Yeah.
And she's got a big sword that she kills people with.
Let's see if she seems to be having fun. So like I was all for this.
Yeah.
I really wish she included that one picture. I should have posted it, like took a picture of it. But it's essentially like he's on this throne that they had to have custom made because like it fits him perfectly. And it's like this towering throne thing. It looks like it got stacked multiple and he's just like in it. And I was like, they had to go through the effort to actually build that for him.
Oh, you mean the little cage he's on in?
Yeah,
Like
like this
he's in
little
like a
cage
little
throne.
golden cage?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, they had to put the actual effort into that.
Yeah.
Like someone had to like sit down and actually make designs and put that time in. Like that's what I find funny actually.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it was her. All money
Yeah,
on
no
her.
kidding. All yeah, her or the other ogre princess.
Or was it the Dire Wolf? That would have been awesome.
Ranka, yeah. So anyway, not much happened really in this manga this week. It was mostly just like political intrigue between the son of the lizard chieftain um betraying him in order to make stupid military decisions because in case nobody's noticed he's a fucking moron.
Yeah. He done messed up.
Yeah, not much has really happened. This manga is really, really slow at pacing, but it feels okay because it has small funny moments. And because it feels like the pacing is slow because it's building a world that is very interesting rather than slow like Hibi Chocho, which is slow to build a world I couldn't give a shit less about.
Yeah. I like how this is turning out so far, though.
Yeah.
It's really
It's
interesting.
just kind of a slow build, whereas like the other one was a slow build to nowhere.
Yeah.
But that means we don't have a lot to talk about most weeks. I think next week we might have a little bit more to talk about because it's definitely getting closer to the climax between the Dryad fighting the Orc Lord and things like that.
Correct. And then like other mangas, it seems like there's building up. Like usually like the fifth or sixth volume is when stuff happens.
Yeah, that's when things
So
start to
I'm looking forward to it.
really start to get funky. All
I
right.
think we should talk about My Hero next. Cause guys, I found
God.
my bit badge. I'm gonna make it a little different so it's not exactly copyright, but it's basically gonna be this Deku face.
Oh
Show
Jesus.
them the Deku face. Show them the Deku face.
I did. Jesus Christ.
Look at that shit, guys. Can't you see that being my like 100 bit badge? You donate $1 with that fucking face. Look at that shit. I'm even tempted to add mood instead of clench
Fucking mood.
or hype. I'm not sure which one of the two. Just- I just want you can kind of see it. See, Dolphin. Wouldn't you want to donate 100 bits to me if you could click on that shit? I'm gonna even have it jingle back and forth, like swing a little bit.
Yes,
That's
the
right.
long and the short is this volume was really action heavy, but not much story wise happened. Um,
Like they basically
Ochako
did.
continues to try to prove to everybody she's best girl while actually not even being third best girl.
I want you to show their cheerleader uniform because I just want to say, Ashido, fucking work in this cheerleading outfit. Her and Yozo both work in this cheerleading
I mean,
outfit.
Yayorozu,
Yeah,
also known as
her.
Momo, also known as best girl.
Look at this shit. Look at that. They're the only two. I feel like they really worked out that outfit. Sue's kind of third,
Sue's
but
kind of third. If Sue had like any sense of posture, Sue would be third.
yeah. But I just Momo just Momo and Shido, they're the best when it comes to this uniform. I'm telling you, Shido's most physically fit out of all the girls. So
I'd
I'm gonna
say
be
I'd say
surprised.
it's Momo looking at those abs, but
Yeah, but look at her legs. Look at Shido's legs.
I guess that's fair. We're gonna be talking about this picture
You
for a
can kind
little
of see
bit,
it.
boys. So you better strap yourselves into your seat
Where's
now.
Cyber? Like we're talking about it, Cyber. We're finally talking about it. um. Anyway, and then this next part, which I deeply enjoyed, my favorite scene is where Shoto takes Deku in the fucking hallway and just like, we need to talk about something.
And
And
they're
then Deku,
making out within like 30 seconds.
that's what the fanfic should.
Jesus.
They should have. They really should have. But no. But like Shoto's like, I think you're All Might's love child. And this
Yes,
whole
that
time
is
Deku's
literally what he says. Oh my
dude,
god.
yes, which is the best thing because Deku's literally like, oh god, he found out my secret. Oh god, oh god. And then he says that, and Deku's like, I can see why he thinks this. Like with all his reasoning. Even Deku's like, am I All Might's love child? Like he just for a minute he's just like, am I? Like I think I sent you a posting of it too. It's like
He's just like, I actually have to think about this for a second. This actually might be a thing.
because Shoto brings
Oh
up reasons like
god.
he has all this favoritism towards you. He spends a lot of one-on-one time with you. You guys have similar quirks. Like he just brings his list of reasoning, and Deku's like, I can see his logic. There's like a legit picture I sent Tundra, which
It's is it this one? Are you All Might's illegitimate child or something?
Yeah, it's like legitimate word to word what he says. I see what he thinks. I'm just like, yeah, like,
I mean, I'm denying that, but
but
obviously, if I really were his kid, I'd try to deny it. So you don't really know what I'm saying. I don't really sound convincing here, you
but it's
know.
not that. Yeah, yeah. Deku's just like, I don't even know my dad. He could be for all I know.
Right.
Mom says he uses a fire quirk, but I'd rather be All Might's father or dad or son than like fucking Endeavors. So,
I'd rather be me than you, bitch.
oh my god, what if they're brother? So
God
good.
damn it.
Japan and their incest.
I
Like
know,
it's
right?
canon, guys. It's Citrus 2.0, just with superhumans.
And gay.
Okay. Oh, the gay.
Penis fencing.
Yay! Is it hot? Is it cold? Deku won't know.
God damn it.
But no, basically the whole chapter is them going for part two of the exams where it's basically like chicken, but they had like to take these like points off their forehead. Like there's like these tied like cloths around their heads or their necks or any part, and they're supposed to collect enough points and stuff. Don't go in your channel. Am I still a duck? What does that mean?
Don't worry, we won't, Tiny. And yes, Katie is a duck.
Quack quack. I don't even. Am I even on your channel, Tiny?
Katie.
Sorry. Anywho, so yeah, that's basically the whole chapter. Midnight basically announces like the whole event. Basically, Deku barely makes it, and Bakugo finally finds another rival. This kid from Class B, who stupidly picks a fight with Bakugo
I don't
because
know
he gets
about
all cocky.
stupidly. He's literally fucking Siler from Heroes.
Yeah, he's just like, hey, let's mess with the most hot-headed kid and see what happens. Because apparently I can half-ass copy quirks, but I don't know how those quirks work. But I feel like I can get this guy and messes with Bakugo. And Bakugo's just like, I'm gonna fucking put you in the ground, which almost happens actually.
Yeah, he tries really hard to do so.
Yeah, and then they literally talk about like Class A has the advantage because Class A dealt with villains and has nothing. Like they've been into the position where they can't let their guard down. They can't like get lazy. They have to go all out, which Class B hasn't experienced yet. So that's what basically drives Bakugo, and basically kid from Class B is like, now I fucked up, and loses.
It was in that moment that he realized he had fucked up.
Fucked up.
So anyway, yeah, Deku barely wins, or Baylor barely makes it. He doesn't win. He's like in fourth place. And then they start doing the 1v1 fights, where pretty much everybody you'd expect to lose loses, and pretty much everybody you'd expect to win wins. And it ends right before Ochako and Bakugo fight each other.
Which I'm actually
Unfortunately.
excited. I'm excited for this one because it does finally show that Bakugo isn't a total jackass. He's still a jackass, but he's not a total jackass because he gives Ochako an actual fight.
Yeah.
But we'll talk more about that next week. What else do we have to move on to?
Like half of the fucking manga we read.
Okay.
We still have Komi, Yamada, Blue Spring Ride, and Assassination Classroom.
I guess we can talk about Blue Spring Ride. I really wish Tundra pin my messages, but it's also my bad because I didn't pin my messages. So it's an equal fault. But like I had a really good before and after volume where in the last volume it ends literally where she's like, oh my God, they were in a room alone and I don't know what they were doing. They could be doing stuff.
The fuck are you
And
talking about?
Blue Spring Ride,
No, I mean, the fuck are you talking about? Pin your messages.
like you can pin messages when you send them to people to save them.
Can you do that in DMs?
Yeah,
Oh, I guess you can. I thought you could only do that in channels. I don't
nope,
remember you sending me any of this stuff though.
I did. Um, but no, anyway, so like she's legitimately like the main character is like having this whole thought process, and they both look really sad. So she doesn't read body language. So in this chapter, it's basically they're continuing the study group and stuff like that, and they're starting to have fun. But like she notices there's still something going on between the dude and the cute girl, and it just bugs her more and more. And then eventually he lets her see the inside of that room because like I think she drops a potato or some.
That's what.
She just
That's
no
how. That's how cute girl ended
cute
up in
girl.
there.
No, she just like walks into that room.
That was last week.
Yeah, she walks into that room, I believe, and he's not there.
Yeah, this isn't relevant yet.
And basically, he's a shrine, and he just basically shows her like, "This is my mom's shrine," and this is talks about a little bit about his mom, and then she puts two and two finally together, and she's like, "Oh, so when they left, that's why they. Oh, he was sharing that piece with her." And I was really tempted to put those two like photos together. I'm like, yeah, you fucked up. Hope you feel like a little bit of a dick, but I don't blame her thought process. At the same time, she just assumed
Yeah, and there was some kissing scenes this week.
there was
No, there wasn't.
kissing scenes in
Nobody
the
kissed
heart,
anybody.
in the heart.
Anyway, the only thing that did happen interesting this week is cutesy girl, Yuri, confesses to Ko, who's the main male love interest, even though Yuri is not the female love interest. She's just cute, super cute, and he turns her down. He's like, "Oh, that's nice, but no."
Yeah, he's just like, I'm not interested, and she's like, oh, okay, and cries, which I don't blame her because she got shot down, and I think she tells the other girl about it too.
Nope, she doesn't. The other girl just has to assume.
Oh, gotcha.
And then that's pretty much the entirety of this manga. It was better this week than most, but it's still pretty bad. It's gonna get better eventually, right? You're not just wasting 8 weeks of my life.
No, this is basically as good as it's gonna get, my friend.
God damn it.
So I said, if you want to drop it, we can drop it.
I might actually be in hell.
We can drop it.
The other day I drove to Walmart. I sat in the middle lane, which is the left turn lane. And I sat there with some jackass in a Jeep sitting 10 feet in front of me,
Mm-hmm.
who had right of way because he pulled into the lane first. And he was using it to turn into a. It looked like he was using it to turn into the Qdoba right next to him. And the lane kept being empty, and he could have gone, but he didn't do it. Over and over again. And I just sat there. And then finally, he just goes. He doesn't fucking turn. He just drives straight. This retarded motherfucker decided it was a good idea to use the left-hand turn lane as his way of just getting safely into the road, and then just sat there because he couldn't figure out what to do about the fact that the person using the lane the proper way was using the fucking lane. He just couldn't wrap his head around this fact. And then I finally get to Walmart to buy buttermilk because that's what I need to make a fucking cake that I made. And I get there and they don't fucking have any. They have nothing but just aisles and aisles, like literally like 2.5 fridges full of different brands and sizes of half and half. And I just stopped and I stood there and I thought to myself, I am actually literally in hell. I have died and gone to hell. I actually called my financial benefactor and I go, "Are you a demon? Are you actually a demon from hell and I've died and I've gone to hell and you're just facilitating my punishment?" And he was like, "No, why?" And I explained to him and he was like, "Maybe I am a demon."
Maybe this is my penance.
And
And I
Blue
have to
Spring
say,
Ride is just fucking part of that fucking penitence.
yeah, basically, Tundra's overdramatic way in saying he's done reading it. We might have to just replace it with something else, which we will talk about after this.
It's so
But moving
fucking
on
bad. It's so bad.
to something else then.
Okay, we have Assassination Classroom, Komi, and Yamada left. I could give two shits less about Assassination Classroom.
Okay.
It
Yeah,
drags. Like all that happened was new a new character was introduced and a bad guy the new character is a bad guy, but also there was this like 3 chapter like argument between bitch sensei and her assassination teacher as to whether or not she was capable of killing the teacher or not, and they finally eventually decide, yeah, sure, why not? The hell? This is new. My thing won't drag. Oh, because they're PNG files. Oh, fuck my life. Okay, so I don't have any pictures then because of that, because, you know, welcome to my... Like I said, boys and girls, I am in hell. Okay, it eventually works. I just have to fight with it. So this is the new character that joins. He's the brother of Koro Sensei, and he has tentacles too. Ladies, I have his number if you want them.
Oh my god.
I got his digits. Come on, he's a pretty boy with tentacles in his hair. That's like everything you could ever ask for. Right, Katie?
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen better.
You've seen better?
I've seen better.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I've seen better too. Left side of the picture right now.
Uh-huh.
And that's pretty much all that happened. It was just more poor bullshit. This is one of those mangas where I don't want to say it's bad because it's not. The manga itself is not a bad manga. It's not a bad story. It's actually a pretty well-written story and it's well-paced. And on the whole, it's good. But it's very surface level and it's also very long con. The story is building slowly building a emotional connection between the reader and Koro Sensei in order for the fact that Koro Sensei is going to die at the end to be a emotional blow. That is literally the whole point of the story, and that's why it has a slow build, because it needs a slow build to effectively and properly build that emotional connection to the character. That's all it is. That's the whole point of the story. And it just kind of it has a little bit of that shonen concept where it has to constantly up the ante in order to keep things interesting while you build that, but discussing those interesting things. Like you can't discuss the interesting portions of a fight scene. And that's what's making that what holds the interest of the reader during the slow build that builds that emotional connection to Koro Sensei. So it just doesn't really do a great job for this kind of show is my biggest problem with it.
Which is totally fair.
Yeah, that's the only reason I told you at the beginning that I would explain why I wasn't super down with continuing with Assassination Classroom, and that's the main reason. Because even though it's a very good manga, and I highly recommend all of you go read it from start to finish if you have the time, because it is long, like literally 30 volumes. It is it is an incredibly slow build, and I just don't think it's right for this show in order to really like I can't impart to the audience the emotional build that it's trying to build in me. And it won't work in me with the manga because I've already seen the anime. I've been there, done that. I've cried my eyes out. It happens. Um and you will too. I promise. Actually, Katie, I know exactly. Have you read this manga, by the way, before, or have you watched
Mm,
some anime?
what?
The of Assassination Classroom.
I haven't read or like I haven't seen the anime.
Okay.
Like I'm just reading the manga.
Okay. So do you remember the end of the first season of Blue Exorcist,
Yes.
where the main character dies temporarily and everybody's super sad because he was like awesome and every all that shit. You remember that?
Yes.
That's literally how this manga ends.
Gotcha.
Spoiler alert. It's literally
Yeah.
that scene all over again.
Oh.
So because of that, it like almost verbatim, like it's that whole fucking last episode of Blue Exorcist of the first season of Blue Exorcist all over again. It's just that's the whole what this is all climactically bringing you to is get you super fucking attached to Koro Sensei, knowing full well that he has to die. That is literally the whole point of it. And it does a great job of it. And I highly recommend everyone to go read it or watch the anime. But it's not right for this show because what keeps you interested while you build that emotional connection is action sequences. And we can't impart the emotional connection. And it's really hard to do much as far as discussing action sequences other than just posting images up on the Twitch feed. Hello.
Yes. So I guess I'm willing to keep reading it, but if you don't want to do reviews on it anymore, that's fine. I can just read it on my own time.
I mean, you're more than welcome to. Or do we want to, if you want to
Yeah.
read it
Like
in the
that's
back?
the sad part is because like a lot of people were like kind of seeing the point because you spoiled it.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, you don't. That's the thing is like that's my point in a nutshell is that it's not a spoiler. The knowledge is right from the get go that Koro Sensei has to die. That is
Yeah.
because the Earth can't be destroyed at the end of the manga. Because if it is, who gives a rat's ass? It's the same ending. Either way, Koro Sensei dies. It's just a matter of whether he takes Earth with him or not. So because of that, you can't really spoil the ending of it. Because no matter how you look at it, it has to end the same way. It's the same way with there's another show. I haven't read the manga, but like another example of this problem is like Kakegurui, where it's a gambling show where all of the bets are bets that if the main character loses the bet, the show ends. So therefore the main character can never lose the bet, so there is no thrill to it. It's not because of the fact that like me telling you that the main character never loses the bet isn't a spoiler because intrinsically the main character cannot lose a bet because they have plot armor. And this anime slash manga is the exact same. You know that Koro Sensei has to die because he's directly said either I die or I die and take all of you with me. There is no ending where Koro Sensei doesn't die.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess we can move on to the next one because yeah, um, kind of want to get through some of this here. So like the next one we need to review is Yamada.
Yeah, which was good this week.
Was
I thought it was. Did you even read Yamada this week?
I have not. I
Oh
read
my
bits and pieces of it. I'm sorry.
god.
I read bits and pieces. I got to the point where there's another girl that was introduced again. It was I forgot her name, but she was like laying down or something, and he was like checking up on her. Is all I got to.
Are you talking about the new witch that was introduced?
Yes.
Okay, so then you read most of it because it doesn't get much further than that. The only
Okay,
thing
because
you
yeah,
really the only thing you really are unaware of is that you don't know what the new witch's power is. That's probably literally
correct.
the
So
only
that's
thing you
why
missed out
I
on.
wasn't gonna. Okay, so yeah, like that's why I said I was looking. I didn't read all of it because technically I didn't. So
Yeah, that would be accurate. But so the main things are, we were right last week. This chick with the glasses is in fact the new witch, and uh, her power is that if she kisses somebody, they become part of a telepathy neural network. That's literally
yeah,
her whole power. Um, and there's a theory that the main characters are starting to develop that they're wondering if nobody um if the witches, the reason they're given the power they are is because it's something that they need or most desire. So in the instance of the blonde-haired girl, she got the ability to switch bodies with somebody because she hates being her. In this girl's case, she doesn't have the ability to talk to people, so she has the ability to talk in her mind to people. Um, or the girl with the love potion effect, kiss. She has the ability. She wants out to be popular, so her power is to make it so anyone she kisses falls completely head over heels in love with her.
which is
And
pretty OP, quite
it's
honestly.
super OP. It's literally Confessor's Touch. Um, only it can be undone. So, they kiss. These two kiss. And here's the fucky thing. The girl with the glasses starts falling in love with Yamada, but she's only falling in love with Yamada when Shiraishi, the fucking blonde girl, is in his body. That's the only
Yeah.
time when she's in love with that she's in love with Yamada, because the way she carries his body is the only time it makes it so like it just does something for the glasses girl. So
Yeah, which is pretty fucked. Quite honestly, it's pretty fucked for her.
I'm into ladies, but I like the D is basically what this
Face.
was.
Yeah.
So, after that whole episode, which honestly, that whole thing was neither here, it was kind of dumb. He uses the power to add white-haired boy to the network, and uses the network to be able to pass his exams. Whoop-de-doo. They get to the point where they access the. Hold on. Sorry about that. They get to the part where they access the room that they're going to look at, and um the room has completely been cleaned out. So the second volume of the notebook that they were looking for is definitely not there. And then the girl with glasses mentions to the main character that there's only one other girl or one other person she's ever kissed that didn't get added to the neural network like right away, which means this person that she kissed must be one of the witches. And she tells who it is, and we get introduced to her, and she's super fucking cute. They come over to her house to like ambush her and talk to her about it because she hasn't been going to school. And she basically tricks them into helping her move a bunch of furniture around and then agrees to talk to them about it. And then she admits to what her real power is. She can see the future. And she saw in the future that the old school building was going to burn to the ground and a lot of people were going to get hurt, and her and Yamada were going to get blamed for it. So she decided the only way to dodge that future was to just stop going to fucking school. And that's the end of this episode. That's it. Katie, are you even still there?
Yes.
You're
Sorry,
very quiet. You're very quiet.
I have a headache. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best to stay in here. I think she's really cute. I just really wish. I really hope that she figures out that the girl that like the other girl, like she realized like, oh god, I'm in love with the other girl. And she's just like, oh well, and tries to romance the other girl. That's all I want.
Right?
I think that would be legit.
Yeah. Okay. And then the only other thing that was super interesting, entertaining that happened in this was when the blonde-haired girl recommends that Yamada kiss the glasses girl in order to get her find out what her powers are. At the
Yeah.
time, white-haired boy and the dark-haired girl who don't have powers at all are both still under the love potion, the effect of the love
Yeah.
potion powers. So this is their response. Aw, hell no, bitch better step off my man. She gonna get caught.
Oh god.
You
Yeah.
can't help but
Like
love
word to
that.
word. Word to word.
So I figured I had to show that to everybody.
I don't blame his reaction though. Like seriously, fuck these people.
Right? Fuck you people, seriously.
Like I feel sorry for him. He's like the one character I feel the bad for the most because he didn't want any of this. He didn't ask for any of this to happen.
This is
He was just
true.
a regular old high school yakuza dude, beating up kids, failing his test. Just wanted to live out his gangster life, and then all this happened. He's the real victim.
Katie, did you have any pictures from Comey this week?
Nope. Do you?
I do, but I just wasn't sure if you had sent over any to me because I didn't see any, but I wasn't sure because that's the last one we have to do is Comey. Because there's literally nothing else to talk about from this manga because nothing else happened.
Okay. Like nothing else happened.
Nothing else happened. It ends right at that point um where he is told like, hey, this is what's going to happen in the future and we need to stop it. That's all.
Gotcha. You know what we really should read?
What?
The manga pissed me, or not the manga, the anime pissed me off, but the manga's apparently supposed to be infinitely better.
Oh god, here we go. I know there's like 3 mangas that fit that bill, and all of them the anime was she's gonna say kiss him not me. Yeah? Kiss him not me? Was that what you were gonna say? I'm trying to guess here. They can't see the chat right now, but Katie goes refuses eye contact and then goes types yes.
Because
Okay.
the manga's better than the anime. I read one chapter of the manga and I was like infinitely better. And it's
see,
funny.
I can't
it has
say
a real
that I
ending,
can.
apparently.
I can't. I was just gonna say, unless it has a real ending, it's gonna be a complete waste of time because the
It
ending
has a
of the
real ending.
anime was
Everyone
terrible.
tells me. Yeah, the anime ending.
I don't trust everyone you talk to. The everyone
no,
you
they
talk to has
Madoka.
garbage taste.
Okay, no, they Madoka it, apparently. They like changed the ending, and like the author got pissed off because that's not how the ending actually is. There's an actual
Monica's ending was perfect, though.
in the anime.
Yes.
Was it?
Yes.
With all that sad bullshit?
The fucking movie where if the movie was the real ending from the manga, and the movie is just like off the wall craziness, which I'm not going to talk about because there's a good chance I'm going to say we need to read Madoka, but I don't know that
read Monica, but like I'm talking about like the before and post movie. I'm talking like how they messed up the ending, like they did this apparently with Kiss 'Em Not Me. Like the anime's different from what the actual ending is.
I mean, that's a very common thing where they end an anime because they don't want to produce the anime anymore and the manga hasn't ended yet, so they just make up the fucking ending and it ends up being totally different. That's very common.
It's only 55 chapters too.
How many volumes?
It doesn't give me volumes. It just says 55 chapters.
You can literally type in volume chapter into Wikipedia or into Google, and the first link will almost always be what chapters are in each volume, and it'll tell you how many volumes. That's how I do it every week, to tell you which chapters we're reading and the ones that don't have American releases yet. Like Yamada, for instance, does not have an American release yet, even though it has an American release of the anime. It doesn't have an American release of the manga, so it has no volumes in manga rock. So I have to look them up in the Japanese version.
13 volumes.
That's not bad. Maybe it's like only like 3 months. That's not bad. We might. We
can just replace it with Blue Spring. It would be better. It's funny.
Anyway, so let's move on to Komi, because we're not done. Fuck is this thing's problem?
Komi.
Okay. I think my network is just super fucking choppy tonight for some reason. What else is new? Okay. Yeah, so Komi. New girl was introduced. Inaka-san.
Inaka-san.
Do you like Inaka?
I want to like Inaka.
Why do you want to like Inaka? Why don't you just outright like Inaka? I actually just want to hear your reasoning. I'm curious. I'm not trying to set you up. I'm legitimately curious as to why you worded it that way.
I feel like Inaka has potentially alternative motives, and we just haven't seen it yet. Because I can't find anything actually wrong with Inaka, but Inaka's too perfect. So that's why I'm like naturally on edge. Because I'm like, you have ill intentions. You're too cute.
I just want you all to know that Inaka
you set me up.
Is literally fucking Katie. So all that stuff she just said, how Inaka is perfect and literally too cute. She's saying that about herself. She just doesn't realize it, because she doesn't realize that she is literally Inaka. So Inaka is like from the southern end of Japan, which is kind of very much similar in stereotypes to the southern end of the United States, where they're all country bumpkins and can't they can't speak proper English, that kind of stuff. It's very similar. And
I just think there's ill intentions, because any character is almost like me has ill intentions.
I wonder why.
But I don't actually have ill intentions, so that's why I'm always like, I want them to believe.
That can't be a coincidence.
I want to believe.
Okay, so Inaka is super cute, and she follows Komi around for pretty much this whole volume, just trying to figure out what Komi is doing, because she sees Komi and she's like, oh, that girl really knows how to be all put together and city-like, and I have to go and follow her to see what...
Touch my pearls. She's so sophisticated. I gotta go over there and see how I can be just as sophisticated as her.
Yeah, basically.
Fit in with all these dumb bumpkins.
Yeah. So that is basically Inaka's whole thing. That's why she like flocks to Komi, and she's a cutie. So best girl? Hell no. Aguri is still best girl, but Inaka is probably pretty goddamn close. She's pretty damn cute too. Unfortunately, she didn't have very much in this volume, because she was one of the last introductions of it.
The least screen time, you mean?
Yeah. She was introduced in the very last chapter of the volume. And then there was a festival, a sports festival, which at this school is a normal sports festival. Somehow I didn't screenshot the image of Aguri jumping up and down to try and get the pork bun in her mouth, and she gets all the aesthetic points because she's got huge boobs that are bouncing up and down, and she shows off her midriff. Somehow I didn't remember to screenshot that. All I did remember to screenshot was this, of Komi coming up from behind after absolutely turfing it. in the dirt, face first, and still manages to bust her ass and come up from behind and finish second. At which point, this girl who's like being like all competitive with her is like, "Oh yeah, I saw your 200 degrees."
Yeah, which I'm really impressed by Komi, honestly. Holy shit. Like, she catches up so quickly.
Yeah, and the whole rest of this volume was kind of like little short stories. So Comey makes dinner for her family in one of them. It's like literally 3 pages. She watches a show and they make food on it. And she's like, I want you to make that. She's pointing at it like she wants her mom to make it. And her mom's like, I don't know how to make that. I wasn't watching. You make it. And she's like, okay, I will. And then does. And she does a really good job. And she's super excited that she did a good job. Or like the first like two like first chapter of this volume was dedicated to Komi-san having dreams about her trying to figure out how to communicate and having a panic attack because she doesn't know what the fuck to do. Specifically, everybody who walks in the classroom, including Tadano, has something on their face, and she doesn't know whether it's more appropriate to not mention it because if you mention it, they'll be embarrassed, or to mention it so they're not embarrassed in front of everybody. So she doesn't know which is the right thing to do.
Yeah, no,
Katie's like, I've been here, done this. I am actually, this is putting me back in my own personal hell.
I know. I'm like PTSDing so hard. I was like, oh god, those memories are behind you, Katie. Just calm down. It's gonna be okay. Just turn. I'm trying hard not to cry. Go on. Go on, please. Like, I need you to just go on. Hello?
You hear this, boys? This is the sound of us letting Katie hang herself with her own. Where's the sayonara clip when I need it? All right, so other than that, the only other stories really with Komi this week was Komi goes and visits Nakanika, the Chunibyo, and plays video games with her. That was like 2 chapters by itself. Not much happened in Komi this week. I was surprised by how very little happened. How very very little happened in Komi this week. Do you remember anything that really sticks out to you, Katie?
No.
Did you even read Komi this week?
I only read up to the country bumpkin point because that's all I had time until the stream. It was finish Komi or make it in time for mic check, and I figured you would rather have me here for mic check than me finishing that part.
I just want you to know I was literally reading the last chapter of Assassination Classroom during mic check. Just want you to know that.
After you told me 5 times you got everything done.
I can't read it on my phone. We already talked about this. Oh, that's not ideal. Oh, good. We're back. I lost my second monitor for a second
I owned up to it. I was like, yeah, I didn't read most of
I'm just fucking with
I should have.
Yeah, you know this is going to be really hard. We literally have until Tuesday now, right? That's half the time we usually have.
Yes. But because I have tomorrow off from streaming, I'm going to commit that to actually reading the mangas to get ahead.
I guess that's fair. That's what I did last week. I used the entirety of the New Year's that I took off to read. That's how I got ahead.
Yeah. Like, you guys have to understand, he has more time frame to read than me because his job is literally doing this. His job is centering around his streams and getting prepped for his streams to help with marketing and stuff. That is literally his job. I have a full-time job and I'm trying to get my streams balanced, and I have to read. So, like, I have more time-consuming duties. Like, yes, he has a kid, so those are his only time-consuming duties. He's laughing over here because he's like, I got more than what you think.
See, no, I'm laughing because Katie doesn't realize the only reason I'm giving her a hard time was to provoke exactly this mental breakdown she's having right now.
So much.
Like, admittedly, we are only reading 11 volumes at a time, and a manga volume is literally half an hour. So you're talking about literally 5.5 hours worth of work. It's not that much, but I am mostly giving you a hard time, especially because Hebe Chocho and Blue Spring
It's so
Ride are
bad.
like pulling fucking teeth. It's like reading New Moon all over again. And I can understand why. Like, I read Chocho first because I knew it was going to be so fucking bad, and I knew once I got it out of the way, it would feel so much better to look at my fucking list and be like, at least I don't gotta read Chocho.
Where I was like, I need to like stream more hours, and I didn't like actually balance shit. And then I was committed to some people in the community, so I was like, I did not time manage. I'm bad at time management. Yes, I will admit I need to time manage better, but it's not fair to compare my schedule with his.
Oh, I never
It's
did.
fair.
I'm
Okay,
really just
good, because
fucking
I
with
was
her.
like, that's really unfair, bro. You literally have like 36 hours more than me or some shit.
Okay, let's talk
But
about what
I'll
manga
it.
we are actually going to, which ones we're going to continue with, which ones we're dropping. Um, what are your thoughts?
I would like to continue the following. I would like to continue One Punch Man because
Okay,
we all know it's going to get better.
this
I
is
like to
true.
continue My Hero.
Uh huh.
I would also like to continue Komi
Uh huh.
because it's fucking Komi.
Komi is good. I want to continue Nisekoi.
You actually now want to continue Nisekoi?
I mean, I've always wanted to do Nisekoi. It's never been bad.
Rewind to first chapter Nisekoi. I hope the shit gets better because then I get tired of it. Like, I just want to put it out there. In the
No,
beginning,
that
I was
was
like,
everything.
man.
That was almost everything but Nisekoi. Because Nisekoi was right off the bat, Star Butterfly enters the scene.
Fair enough. So yeah, Nisekoi, I agree. Citrus would
Obviously.
be on the list.
We gotta have more kissing.
Yeah, Sister Touch My No No Places.
I mean, I was talking about Yamada, but no.
Oh, okay. We were supposed to do Cherry Girl meets Cherry Boy.
Yup, Bigata HK, which we did not, neither of us read. We
Yeah, we
talked
both
about it
forgot.
before stream and we're like, oh god, we both forgot that this was here because I didn't add it to the. This was my bad. I did not add it to our official list on the Discord, and because of that, both of us forgot that it was on the list to read.
Yes. And then I want to add Kiss Him Not Me just because I really want to see how the manga goes because it's supposed to be different. I liked the anime up until the ending. The anime made me so bad pissed off. But if the manga's different, I will give it a shot.
Um, I am not opposed to Kiss Him Not Me, but the only thing I'm a little worried about on it is that we are really. Fuck it, I don't even care. Never mind.
Okay.
I was just say we are really, really, really heavily like we are super heavy right now on romances.
We only
Especially if
have
you
like
count
three
Komi.
romances.
Especially if you count Komi and Nisekoi. And
They're not,
Bigata. Which I
I
would
guess.
technically count all of those as romances. They're not heavily centered on romance. Komi is more of a slice of life. Um Nisekoi definitely romance. Bigata definitely romance, although romantic
Free
comedy,
life, I
but
guess. Yeah,
romance.
fair.
Real life is also definitely it's a slice of life with heavily romantic side notes.
You're breaking it out.
I know. I don't know what the deal is with my fucking internet tonight. I don't have anything even open in the background. Like I've been closing things just to make it better.
Fair enough. I don't know. I like to add that eventually if we can't add it now, just to add comedy to it because Yamada is supposed to be our comedy one, and it's like it's but it's not funny to me. It's
Um
like more supernatural, if anything.
yeah, Yamada's funny, but it's also funny romance, but it's also supernatural funny romance. Um
The ones I want to drop. Okay, obviously we're doing real life, so that's not what I want to drop.
Real
What I
life is not
actually
getting
want to drop.
dropped. I don't care what your vote is on that one.
I'm not. I didn't say we're dropping
I
real life.
know. I'm just saying.
Okay, calm down. Um, the ones I want to drop are Blue Spring Ride
Okay.
and Cho. Cho
Agreed.
gouged my eyes out.
Right? We have law. If we wanted to continue Chocho, we're literally looking at 4 months of this.
I'm gonna say Assassination Classroom because you spoiled a good majority of it, and there's no point in doing it.
I
Slash,
don't
it
agree.
spoiled itself,
Here's the
but
thing.
you also did spoil it.
Here's the thing. I don't agree that that spoils it. Even if here's the thing. The definition of a spoiler is not just knowing the ending, it's knowing the ending that ruins the point of getting to the ending. And
But
one
you
of the
did
biggest
though,
no,
because you're
you're
like,
not listening. The point is that Assassination Classroom cannot be spoiled anyways because the point of the story is not the conclusion of the story. It doesn't matter if you know where the story is going or not. I've enjoyed reading it just as much as I knowing where it ends because I finished it. You need to understand that there is a difference between telling an ending and spoiling. And this specific thing, even though you guys feel like it is because nobody has seen it before or read it before, I have seen the entire story. I do know how it ends. I do know the entirety of the story, and I know knowing the entirety of the story does not affect my enjoyment of rereading the story in any way, shape, or form. Because it is still every bit as wholesome, and the story is just every bit as good, knowing the ending or not knowing the ending. You can't spoil something where the ending doesn't matter.
I guess, but like at the same time, you did spoil the experience because you're like, oh yeah, you're connecting with him enough, and you don't want him to die, and like that's the whole point of the journey is so as to get connected, and
Well,
like
yeah,
you're
yeah,
having that connection without knowing that connection.
but the whole point of us doing this is we're reviewing what we're reading. If I don't talk about the fact that they are clearly building a connection between us and this and the sensei, I'm not doing a review of it intentionally to avoid talking about what actually matters in the story. Like if you can't do spoilers, you can't watch a review because by definition a review spoils what we've read so far.
Anyway, so we'll just drop Assassination Classroom and
So
what's that off the
Assassination,
list?
Blue Spring, uh
Ocho
and Chocho are
are the
all
three
getting
that we're dropping.
dropped. Okay. I'm definitely okay with that, which leaves us with 9 as of right now, unless I missed transferring one over, which is always possible. I'm not great at this.
Okay, so we're right now we have One Punch My Hero, Citrus,
Nisekoi Komi,
Komi,
Yamada, Bigata, Relife, and Reincarnated is what I have.
and then what else? There's just one more. I feel like there's one or two more. Hold on.
That's what I thought too, but I don't think so. Without adding Bigata, we had 11, and we kicked off 3, which leaves us with 8.
Yeah. There's also Slime.
I have that one on here. That was the last one I listed. I'm doing math. I'm mathing it right now. I have them all listed. We have 9.
Okay.
Because we had 11, we knocked 3 off, which brings us to 8, and then we added Bigata HK, which brings us up to 9. So 9 is how many we should have, and that's how many I have written down. So, do we want to add Kiss Him Not Me?
Yes.
Okay. I think we should definitely for future choices, and I'm not saying this because I think that either of the two that we've added fit this bill. We need to make sure if we're adding a romance, it can't just be a straight romance because they're terrible. They're consistently terrible. They have to have some sort of side note that makes them interesting, whether it be Citrus because it's incest, or Yuri, or Kiss Him Not Me because of the whole girl being fat thing.
I understand the body image. I'm not a fan of, but, like how they handle it, but I do like the Fushi. of it and how she's literally like a freak and they're okay with it. They eventually become cool with it. They learn like her differences and then they become cool with it.
Who's spoiling shit now?
Not really.
There's at least a fucking volume devoted entirely to her mental breakdown about
It's
whether
not
or
really.
not they'll
They don't even
accept
know what
her.
if you don't explain what a Fuyushi is to them, they won't know. So no, not really.
I mean, we're gonna have to do that next week. So.
Exactly. So it's not a spoiler.
Okay. What else did I have on here that was good? I had 5 recommendations to add if we wanted to that would all be decent, I think.
Okay, what are your ones?
Bunny Girl Senpai is one that we had listed that we were both like saying yes to, but maybe not yet. We have Renaibo-kun, which again is love story, but also has a heavy supernatural aspect as well as a lot of comedy. I have New Game on here, which I'm not sure if anybody's actually interested in. I watched the anime and I really liked it. By the way, there's literally no way I can spoil this. It's slice of life. Um, but that's it. It is not romance. It is some comedy, mostly slice of life.
I'm down for that. No, it's not time, Moxie. It's not time to do the thing. Patience, Moxie, patience.
Okay, so what you want to add New Game
Sure.
then? Okay, because it is just like so the baseline story is it's slice of life of a girl that just finishes college to be a game developer and gets picked up by her favorite game studio to be a designer and developer for one of their new games that's coming out. And it just takes from there. That's literally the story. It's just slice of life of her going to work every day and showing like the issues she runs into, her and her coworkers run into, and the things that she does. And all of her coworkers are cute girls, by the way, for those who care.
Exactly. Patience, young Padawan. Patience. The time will come. I guess, yeah, we can try reading them. Just give me a list of the manga so I can start reading them as soon as I can.
Yeah, so this puts us at 3, 6, 9, 11. We are back at 11. So do we want to keep it at 11 then?
Yeah, we can keep it to that.
Okay. I will go ahead and take what we have right here, hop over to the thing. I will remind you that there is a pinned post on my Discord where we talk about this show that lists all of them, but I will also send them directly to you so that way you have them for easier access for the time being until it inevitably gets buried next week by us sending references. Is there anything else we wanted to talk about?
Nope. I think by the time our next manga reviews or the next one after that, I should have how to get my new bits, my bit badge, and my emotes. So
Wicked.
you can guys now spam my new shit.
Very cool. Because right now, I'm just gonna put it out there. This is a lot better than this.
I mean, I like to also point out there, you didn't even have yours added until this month, and you've been streaming since like June, my dude.
Yeah, I only hit
Affiliate like,
last month.
You hit affiliate like 3 months ago, my dude.
No, I didn't. I hit affiliate on
I can
like
see
the
my
very end of whatchamacallit.
My bank transactions say otherwise.
Your bank transactions?
Yeah, when I subscribe to you.
You subscribed with Twitch Prime to me.
And I was for this one. Oh no, yeah, for Twitch, but it was 3 times. That's 3 months, my dude.
I don't know how that's possible because it was literally November. It was the end of November. I was at dinner on Black Friday when I got the email that said I got whatchamacallit. I got uh what's the word I'm looking for? So it's literally the 23rd of November that I got affiliate. So it hasn't even been 2 full months yet.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't believe you.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
believe you, but I'm pretty sure I can actually check
Anywho.
Twitch. I'm pretty sure it tells me what day I made affiliate right here. It does not. It doesn't tell me. Wait, does it on this button? No, it doesn't. That just takes me to the learn more about being an affiliate. So, is there anything else? Reach 50 followers on November 23rd, 2018.
I guess fair enough. I not sure how that's possible because I remember subscribing to you. That was my third time. So
I don't know, my dude. I don't know. Maybe it was another Tundra. Twitch says I'm the sixth one they've ever had.
maybe.
So, it's possible it was just that. Is there anything else we want to talk about as far as manga goes? Do we want to discuss the fact that we're moving the date and time again?
Hmm. We're doing Tuesday still, right?
I mean, yes, but when we say still, that has not been announced until you just said that out loud.
Okay, yes, because my work schedule is changing and it will be changing again the month after next one because of work stuff I can't talk about. For this month of January, we're gonna be doing manga reviews on Tuesdays.
What are you talking about? Work stuff you can't talk about. Your schedule changes. Welcome to fucking working a real job. That is literally all you have to say. Your
Usually
schedule is
I work
changing so that you.
yearly. Usually I work yearly schedules, but because of some stuff that happened with personal life and work, I'm now subject to every 3 months to a different schedule.
Oh, yeah, and they change it on you rather than you being able to bid for it, don't you?
Correct.
Yeah,
So
so you just get whatever the
this,
fuck they give you.
yeah, pretty much. So as soon as I know what my schedule for next month would be, you will know.
Weren't
I'm
we?
sorry, I have
Weren't
no
you?
control.
Didn't you say next month your schedule is going to be till 11 most days of the week?
It's actually this month. It's going to be till 10 o'clock p.m. It's going to be
Yeah, that's what I
one.
meant.
It's going to be 1 o'clock p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. and then like an hour or 1:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. and then I get an hour lunch.
Okay, so yeah, basically the reason why we're moving it to not be on Mondays anymore is because her work schedule is on Mondays and is until 10 o'clock p.m., which means we wouldn't even start the show until 11 at the earliest.
Correct.
And because of that, we're going to be moving it to Tuesdays instead, because that is your day off, if I am not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay, so that way we don't have to worry about the fact that you would then we can start it at 8 like we usually do. Is basically the long and the short, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so from what that means, we're announcing officially that our time for the show going forward will be Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. All right. And with
Let's
that,
go, peeps.
let's do it.
Let's go on board. I'll see you babies later.